You can definitely, I think, grate it. Oh wow, okay. All right, we've made a lot of different types of cheese on this channel. We've made it out of tofu, we've made it out of cashews, we've made it out of potato starch, we've made it out of potatoes and carrots. And a couple weeks ago, I did this really great collab with Mark from the channel Sauce Dash, and I tried out his meltable stretchy cheddar. And I had mentioned in that video that I wanted to try and make like a halloumi or a mozzarella, and I have an idea of how to do it. I just don't know what kind of cheese this is gonna taste like, if it's going to be more mozzarella-y or more halloumi. Today on the Edgy Veg, I don't know what the outcome of this video is going to be. Hey guys, I'm Candice the Edgy Veg. So if you are new here, hit that subscribe button so we can be friends forever. I'm so excited because today's video is sponsored by Align Probiotic. You guys have heard me talk about these guys before. This is their new kombucha on the go in lemon ginger flavor. It's so tasty. I find myself drinking it every single day, but more on that later. Let's make some cheese. Right, like I said, I did this great collab. I was very inspired by how easy it was to make such a tough, like grateable, spreadable cheese, because a lot of the recipes that I've kind of been seeing over the years, there was a lot of like carrageenan and like fermenting involved. I thought it was quite simple, and I wanted to use his principles to see if I can make, you know, a similar but more creamy cheese. Hopefully the end product will be either a mozzarella or a halloumi. The recipe is going to be more or less the same. We're going to have a liquid, we're going to have starches, and then things to help with the cheese flavor. For the starches, I have both tapioca and potato. And the reason for the potato is because the potato is a lot denser, but the tapioca tends to help stretch. So we have both of those. Then for the liquid, instead of whizzing, you know, carrots with water to get that orange color, I decided just to use soy milk. You can use whatever plant-based milk you like, but soy milk has a ton of protein, so I think that's probably better for a cheese. And then for flavors, I thought miso, you need some umami, so I thought white miso might be perfect for this. Some mustard powder and some onion powder for the flavor as well. Some MSG, and that also helps with the umami. I know that Mark used this like mushroom seasoning. You know, if you watch the video, you know that I didn't have access to that, so I kind of made my own with dried mushrooms and MSG, so I'm gonna try doing it with the MSG. And then of course salt and lactic acid. Lactic acid will give you that kind of like sour aftertaste that cheese has. And then for added fat, because you need fat in cheese, I'm going to use coconut oil. All right, so I'm just adding everything into my blender. I have my coconut oil, then my miso, my plant-based milk. Mine is soy milk. For me, when I'm making cheeses or really cooking anything, I just prefer soy milk because of the protein content. Then I have some onion powder and some mustard powder, and that'll give it a nice little robust flavor as well. I have my tapioca starch. I have my potato starch. And based on what I learned when I made the cheddar recipe, I've kind of just adjusted the method a little bit. I find that I really love the way that the blender incorporated the recipe last time, like when I screwed it up. And so I'd rather blend everything together and then heat it up. I think it'll just result in something that's really nice and smooth and kind of foolproof. Now I'm going to add my lactic acid and my MSG. And it might seem that there is a lot of sodium, but cheese is salty. So, and I'm really trying to go for that like authenticness. All right, so let's blend that up. You might have to go in and scrape down the sides. Do that until you have something that's very smooth. So some of the tapioca starch or potato starch can get stuck to the side. So I just like to go in there and, you know, scrape it down and then blend it again. Now that everything is incorporated, I don't really have to worry about clumps when I'm heating this up. So I'm going to start at like a medium-low heat, and I'm just going to add the stuff to the pot and just stir it. Now I'm going to use what I also learned from last time is not to use a whisk, because it's going to get very stretchy right away and then you'll be fighting with a whisk forever. So I'm just going to use a spatula. Now, as soon as it starts to heat up, it should begin to thicken. So I kind of have it on medium low. I'm just going to stir it constantly. If I find that it is taking too long to thicken, then I'll turn up the heat a little bit. But you don't want it to go too fast that it like burns or anything. But it should take roughly anywhere between like 5 and 10 minutes. Gotta keep it moving. Constantly moving. Okay, so we ended up with this like very cheesy, and I tasted it and it tastes like cheese, but it definitely has this kind of like texture that isn't ideal. And I also want to make it a little bit stretchier. So I want to see what would happen if I put it into my food processor with the kneading blade. We are both finding out the outcome of this at the same time. Too sticky for my blade. Okay, I mean even that like 2 seconds definitely smoothed it out a little bit. Maybe I should have used the blade, the real blade. And maybe, you know what, in the mold it'll settle, but I was thinking, had I left it the way that it was and kind of like pulled it, maybe I could have made a cheese curd out of it. I am going to stick this guy into my mold. So I just have deli cup situation here. I find that they're super easy because if it gets stuck, I can just cut it out. It's fine, but it's malleable, so it's easy to get out instead of glass and then having to spray it with something or whatever. I'm just gonna slowly transfer it again. At least it's coming out in one big clump now, which is great. If we were to grate this and put it on a pizza, it would be insane. So I'm just going to try and like press it in here. Just cover it, stick it in the fridge overnight. We'll come back in the morning and see what we have. Look at that. It's amazing. This has been in the fridge for 24 hours. Look at the texture of it. It kind of reminds me of halloumi in texture, but so my one issue is that I couldn't really get it to like be one uniform shape. It just kind of clumped, so I definitely would want to work on that. But you can definitely slice it, and it's, you know, sliceable, it looks like. You can definitely, I think, grate it. Oh wow, okay. Yep, you can definitely grate it. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the like melty test. So I'm thinking I would love to see how it fares in a like halloumi style cheese preparing. So maybe throwing a couple slices like this onto a frying pan. It's really good. I think we could make it cheesier. It's definitely there. I think if this were to be a halloumi, it needs more salt, but for a mozzarella, this is flawless. Like, it's very spot on. And look at this. Ooh, we did that. We did that together. Fry up a couple pieces of this, see how this melts, and then come back. Now I know that you guys have been asking, like, Candace, what do you drink when you shoot? Every day. And it's my Align probiotic kombucha on the go. But jokes aside, I am loving this stuff. It's a really nice way to have something that you can put into your purse that's good for you. And if you don't want to drink water on the go, you can just tear it, open the little packet and pour it in here. So these are live probiotics. They are backed by the science of Align. And in here we have some fermented yeast. So that's what's giving it that nice kombucha flavor. And then of course it's nicely rounded out with the lemon and ginger. So I've been loving it. So this guy is dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, and only has 2 grams of sugar per serving, and 1 serving is 1 packet. So it's just one of these little guys. So I mean, you can feel good about it. You're drinking something tasty, you're helping to boost your immune system and promoting gut health, and can't go wrong with that, right? So thank you so much again to Align for always supporting me and the content that I put out. All right, so in terms of the melting for like a mozzarella, it doesn't really like melt and stretch, it softens. I wonder what it tastes like. It's definitely firmer. I think if I want it to melt, I would have to add like a little bit more tapioca starch, I think, or a combination of like tapioca and corn. It has a very cheesy mouthfeel. Yeah, this on a pizza, on like a margarita pizza, would be actually a really good dupe. My God, yeah, it doesn't really work. I mean, if you like chunks of cheese in your pasta, which, I mean, I do, it's perfect for that. I wouldn't expect to get like a cheese sauce out of this though. It was very, very good. For the second one, I fried it up kind of how I used to fry halloumi put it on toast or like a baguette. I would always have it with red pepper jelly, so I thought that if I'm trying to see if this is anything like a halloumi, I need all of that together. So when you fry it, it starts to taste like a latke. I would lessen the potato starch, add more tapioca, maybe even a little bit of cornstarch. Yeah, because it kind of just tastes like a latke, which, I mean, I like latkes, but we're trying to make cheese, not latkes. It's really good with the red pepper jelly. So if you are looking for that kind of like salty, kind of cheesy, melted, but not melted that the halloumi has with a red pepper jelly, it's actually really, really good. But I think in order for this to be a good halloumi dupe, I have to get rid of that potato taste somehow. I think I would just salt the hell out of it because halloumi is so salty, but holy hell, the texture is more or less there. I'm very happy with this. I mean, I think you could make this and as is, and you won't be disappointed, but I will leave the updated recipe after I finalize this in the description box down below. And yeah, let me know if you like these kinds of videos where I test recipes with you. We do like a test kitchen sciencey video. Big thumbs up. If you have any recipe requests, leave them in the comment section down below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye.